Hello everyone. Welcome to this week's Pebble Penny coin news video. Sorry we're a bit delayed. We were supposed to go live at 12 o'clock, but I came in and the computer had decided that it was going to install a Windows update. So we had to wait for it to finish that, and then the microphone didn't work. Anyway, troubles with technology. So those of you that have watched this before, hello Peter, how are you, mate? Those of you that have watched before know that we like to talk about what's been going on during the week. We also like to keep you updated what's going on in the coin world, and we also like to have some sort of coin or something or other that we talk about. So this week we're going to be talking about timing on deliveries of current RAM products, because those seem to be changing all the time. G'day Mitch, g'day Todd, g'day Brett, g'day Mick. They seem to be changing all the time, so we just want to keep you updated about that. For those of you that have pre-orders with us, we're going to talk about a neat error that we bought yesterday, and just probably wrap up some of the PCGS grading issues that last week's talk on cleaned PCGS coins covered off on. And I'm glad that Peter Andrews is here, because he'll probably tell me that I've got it wrong, but I'm going to do my best. Anyway, so we'll get started with delivery of current RAM products. So this covers off on firefighter coins, the Aboriginal flag mint and proof sets, the touring car set, and the baby proof and mint sets, and these are the 2021 releases. So the firefighter C mint mark is sold out as far as we're aware. The mint doesn't have any more. The circulation coin on cards, the mint is packaging more, and they are due for distribution at the end of November or in early December, so we may well have some more of those available in store and on our website. Firefighter rolls are still on track to be shipped out of the mint mid to late this month. The supercar set, the touring car set, is still due to ship out of the mint on mid to late this month. The Aboriginal flag 2021 proof and mint sets, apparently there has been a huge demand on those. Now we've already placed I think 2 or 3 orders from the mint, and we were informed yesterday that there could be a delay on 2021 mint and proof sets till 2021. So stock will be limited, but I wouldn't worry too much about that, because of course they'll be making them most of next year. We will do our best to fulfill the orders that people have placed in the order that they were received, and like always you'll get an email from us when your order is shipped out. Baby proof and mint sets are still looking like mid-December, and I would suggest they're probably going to be later than that. So there's been a lot of demand at the mint. So Peter asked, what quality are the circulation issues on the cards? He's talking about the firefighter circulation coins on cards. We looked through our entire allocation, Peter, and we sent one. We've picked out one to send to PCGS just for the sake of it, and it probably won't be better than 65, I wouldn't have thought. Who else has said hello here? John, Lee, Stephen, Ian. G'day Greg. Hello everyone from the Gravy Train. Hi Stacey. Michael, we still don't know what the firefighter rolls are going to have on them. The mint hasn't clarified that with us, so we'll find out and we'll let you know either via Facebook page or one of these videos or some other way. So that's it for current mint products. So the key here is to understand that there is a lot of demand on mint product at the moment, and delays are likely in shipping, and that's not anything that we can do anything about it. It's just the mint is struggling to keep up with demand. So we'll do our best to communicate how that's going moving forward. So, oh yeah, Purple Penny presents on the Gravy Train tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. So if you're not a member of the Gravy Train, please head over there and join up. And and take part in the competition, and you could win a small prize. So thanks, Greg, for reminding me of that. So those of you who are active on the Facebook coin groups probably recognise this error. It's a 2005 Dancing Man dollar struck on a 10-cent blank or 10-cent planchet. So this coin has been into the shop a few times over the last month. The owner has brought it in and out several times, and finally, and we're quite happy that he brought it back yesterday, and he was happy to accept the offer that we made on it. The coin was shown, I think, on various groups on Facebook last week. The owner tried to get a gauge of its value on there, and he was quite happy with what we had offered him, and he brought it in here and sold it to us. First of its type that we have seen. I'm sure there's probably been others, but it's always cool to see errors like this that are struck on a wrong planchet. Those of you who aren't aware of how this sort of thing happens, it's primarily blank contamination, so the wrong blank gets into the wrong hopper. There's no reading on the outside, Peter, so don't know if it was a $1 collar. There's no reading at all. Whether it's spread out enough to actually push the metal up against the collar or not, I don't know, but there's no evidence of reading at all. Blank contamination, could happen a number of different ways, but the two primary ones are back at the source where the blanks actually come from, which is probably in Korea, or perhaps at the mint where a mint worker is cleaning up and puts something in the wrong place, or perhaps even a 10-cent blank gets caught up in machinery and then is knocked loose into the process when dollars are being made. So anyone who's been around error coins for a little while, sorry, I'm just having a look at this is the error here. I definitely can't see any evidence of reading on it, Peter. So, because that was my first thought. Anyway, any people who have been around errors for a little while would know that in 1984 a number of dollar coins were struck on 10-cent planchets. They're quite sought after, but this is the first one of these. That we're aware of. No, the RAM wouldn't know how many of these got into circulation. They don't keep track of that sort of thing. Just backtracking a bit. Patrick from Borough, yes, we will have donation dollars available today in store for purchase. So that's the error that we bought yesterday. We're super pleased that we had the opportunity to buy it. Are we keeping it, Gary? I don't know. It's very tempting, isn't it? It's always the struggle when Catherine and I are coin collectors and very unusual things like this come into the shop, because we've been doing this long enough now that we understand how unusual this is. So yeah, it'll be a difficult thing. I guess Catherine will probably have the final decision about what happens with it. So Patrick from Borough, who's a regular in here, asked about donation dollars. You might remember from last week's video that we talked about the RSB fundraising that we'd been doing, the Royal Society for the Blind fundraising with donation dollars that we'd bought a couple of weeks ago. Well, a regular customer bought in several more bags last week, so we've started selling the individual coins in store again, and we'll be donating all of that money to the RSB again. So thank you, Patrick from Borough, for coming in today and purchasing some of those. The money will be going to a good cause. Now, if we just jump onto the topic of the day, this comes from questions that arose from the video last week where we talked about code 92 PCGS graded coins or clean coins. Someone, do I have a sample of the 1984 $1 error? No, I don't, but I can probably find you a picture, Stacey. So we'll just go back onto the PCGS stuff while I'm thinking about that. The questions that came up last week from one one reader were, and you can see them on the screen there, is when you do a submission to PCGS, do you get to suggest a grade when you're submitting them? And the answer to that is no, you don't get to suggest a grade. The next question was, do big submitters get favourable treatment when they're submitting coins to PCGS? Now, you know, I can't say yes and I can't say no, but PCGS's processes, which they're quite open about, lead you to think that they don't favour submitters, one submitter over another. And I'll talk briefly through the grading process up next. Is there an appeal process? There is an appeal process, and that's called reconsideration. So you can submit a coin that is in a PCGS holder for reconsideration, and that means that they will examine the coin in the holder, and if they believe that it is a higher grade, then they will reholder it into the higher grade, or change the colour designation, or change it from CAM to DCAM. If they believe it's worthy of that, then they'll upgrade that coin, and there will be a charge for that. Similarly, if they decide it's not worth the upgrade, then there will be a charge for that as well. So there is that appeal process, but there is as I said, there's a cost. Otherwise, people would just reconsider over and over. Thanks, Peter Andrews, for sharing that. Peter doesn't believe that they favour one submitter over another. So the last question was an interesting one, because a couple of weeks ago I posted up a picture of a 2018 Eternal Flame C Mint Mark dollar in MS70 and got a few comments about how it didn't appear to be an MS70. While it's easy to express an opinion on social media, I would take those people to task who believe that they can pick an MS70 from a photo. An MS70 has been held in hand by two graders in the USA who have examined it and agreed on the grade. And people that look at pictures of MS70s and believe it isn't an MS70, you're just looking at a picture. So I always get a bit frustrated with people who draw judgment on grades from pictures, because it's impossible to grade properly from a picture. Now, you know, what if you do have an MS70 and it's developed a spot or something like that? There is a warranty process that PCGS offer. So for certain coins, and they do have a certain set of coins that they offer this service on. Perhaps a silver coin develops a spot if it's an MS70, or a copper coin tones in the holder and it's an MS70 red or something like that, or an MS69 red and the colour is obviously changed. You can actually do a warranty claim with PCGS, and under certain cases they will pay you out on that coin. So there is ways around this about coins that change in the holders. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to just get this 1984 picture up here. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I'm just going to pop up a picture here. Sorry, this is really exciting for you. I must apologise for this, but someone asked about seeing a $1984 coin that was struck on a 10-cent planchet. So Right, so there's the $1984 coin struck on a 10-cent planchet. So that one I think is graded MS64 or MS65. It's in a slab. So, you know, it looks quite different to a normal dollar coin. If you note at the top of the kangaroos on the reverse, you'll note weakness there, which is because obviously the 10-cent blank is a lot smaller than a dollar blank, so the coin isn't struck up properly. You'll also notice that the rims around the bottom part of the coin are basically missing, which is also another symptom of that strike weakness due to the blank being smaller. So there have been quite a few of these coins around the place. I don't know how many. So yeah. Okay, so Peter is just sharing we're just going back onto the PCGS grading system here. Peter Andrews is just sharing with us the idea that PCGS can downgrade coins. So he has had coins downgraded with PCGS before, so if you send things in expecting to get higher grades, then that's not likely to happen. Right, so we'll just go on to the second part of this slide, because I'm just conscious that the shop's open today and Catherine's stuck out there doing this by herself. So one of the questions that was asked on the last slide was, do certain dealers get special consideration when they're submitting coins? And it's worthwhile just having a quick look at the internal grading processes that PCGS follow to understand why that's not going to happen. So one of the first steps after they've checked in your coins that you submit for grading is they actually put the coins into flips and remove all identifying information from the coins, so that you can't tell externally where those coins have come from. So the graders are basically grading the coins completely anonymously, so that removes the idea that coins can be given special consideration. Each coin is looked at by 3 or 4 graders, so two graders look at it initially. The first grader logs their grade into a computer system, and the second grader logs their grade into a computer system. If the grades concur, then the coin is sent on to the holdering process. If the grades don't concur, then the coin is sent to a third grader, and that third grader basically acts as a tiebreaker to decide on the final grade. Once the final grade has been decided, it goes through the holdering process, put into a holder. You know, if you're not aware what I'm talking about PCGS holders. Goes into a holder. After the holdering process happens, there's a final grade review process. So the coin is evaluated again in the holder just to make sure that the grade is correct. So you can see it's a fairly impartial and unbiased process. You know, people can't get special consideration, and at least 3 pairs of eyes actually look at the coin in hand and agree on the grade. So, you know, it's a fairly rigorous process. Is it perfect? No, absolutely not. This is a 1679 British Maundy set. Okay, all the holders say 1679 on it, and I'm going to show my imperfections here. All the holders say 1679 on them. 2 of the coins are 1676. So it's been missed by 2 of the coins have been mislabeled by PCGS. The previous owner of the Maundy set, who's had them for many years, didn't notice that 2 of the coins were 1676. Last week when I took photos of them, I didn't notice that they were 1676, and it wasn't until I posted the photos up on Facebook that someone pointed them out to me. So, you know, is it a perfect process? No, it's not a perfect process, but, you know, is it better than a coin dealer can do? Almost certainly, which is why we're such strong supporters of the PCGS grading process. So that's it for this week. I'm just going to track back here and see if there's any questions that I have missed from people. Just excuse me. Daryl, have you got any idea about the $C changeover? No, Daryl, I don't know anything about that coin. So no, I don't know anything about that. Todd's asking about people breaking out an MS65 and sending it back. So the trouble with that, Todd, is that over the last several years, PCGS has actually imaged every coin that gets sent in there, and it gets put into an internal database. And they, when your coin gets in there, it gets, for submission, it gets scanned again and matched against their database to prevent people from improving and gaming the system. So that's the trouble with doing that, back cracking things out and resubmitting them. That used to be a really big thing. It's much harder these days because they've got this internal visual database that they use automated image matching on to prevent people from doing that. What happens when they're mislabeled? Pamela asks. That's called a mechanical error, and you can send them back to get reholded. But it means that our 1679 Morty set isn't a 1679 Morty set anymore, unfortunately. But I should have looked closer when we bought it, so, you know, I've got no one to blame but myself. Does anyone else have any questions today? No? Alright, well, don't forget, if you're a member of the Gravy Train, to take part in the Purple Penny Presents competition tomorrow afternoon. If you're not a member of the Gravy Train, please head over there and join up. It is a great little group of people, and, you know, they're very helpful with new members. There's no buying or selling there. There's just questions and answers, which is fantastic. So if you're not a member of the Gravy Train, please go over there and join up. Thank you, Peter and Daryl and Todd and Pamela, for taking part, and it's good to see you here, Alex. Who else is here? Gary and Stacey and William. So thanks everyone for taking part. We will be here same time next week, hopefully without technical problems and hopefully on time. So bye everyone for now.